And so we mainly work with the Human Rights Council, promoting the idea that extreme poverty is the result of many human rights violations, whether it's the right to food, the right to housing, the right to peace, all those various issues, to be sure that what the people living in poverty have said to us is communicated to the people who are debating those issues. Over and over again, what we see is that people completely overlook the fact that people suffer from discrimination simply because they're poor. Just the fact that they're poor means that they already suffer from terribly negative stereotypes about them and suffer from a lot of discrimination. And so this is one message to repeat, but then also to talk about the ways in which human rights violations put people into poverty, maintain them in poverty, but then also the ways in which people living in poverty are fighting to lift themselves out of poverty and should therefore be seen as human rights defenders. Now that what we call the guiding principles on extreme poverty and human rights have been adopted, which actually say that poverty is the result of human rights violations, my conviction is that gradually then that's going to influence the way that governments develop their strategies to eradicate poverty. In fact, the movement really can be very, very proud of the guiding principles on extreme poverty and human rights, because ATD organized consultations with the experts who were responsible for developing the guiding principles. And so there were meetings in Bangkok, in Peru, in France, in Senegal, between the experts and people living in extreme poverty. And it was very important. For instance, the expert from Chile didn't think that extreme poverty really existed in developed countries and rich countries. And it was thanks to the meetings that ATD organized between him and families in France that he saw the impact that extreme poverty has on people in rich countries, the amount of discrimination, of humiliation. And so he went away much more motivated to write guidelines that really applied to rich countries just like poor countries. We did the same with the other experts. And so in the end, the guiding principles are very much an ATD document. Luckily, ATD wasn't alone in it. So there was a whole range of different kinds of NGOs that provided input into it and that helped to press home the fact that extreme poverty really does involve human rights violations. And we had the backing of France, because the government of France really did an excellent lobbying job with us to convince the other governments to adopt the guiding principles. So it really was a joint effort by a range of different partners, governments, NGOs, and human rights experts.